Golfers within the range because whenever we got the avid golfers or the new kids that fell in love with the sport, we wanted to have them experience a little bit of what is out there to really play a golf course. So in the terms that we don't have a golf course where we could go and practice, kids could just come here and we could close the range and have a 43 different combinations of golf holes.
43, that sounds like a mathematical
yeah, we have thought about it in a bunch of ways, and we developed 4 to 5 tees within the range, and from every tee you could play any green. So if you add up all those different holes, you end up with 40-something combinations.
So kind of exponential calculation, right?
Yeah, well, some math. There was some math into it. So basically what we wanted is to have kids to be able to feel what it is to actually play an approach shot, pot the ball into the hole, and keep a score. So that was basically the idea of building the golf course within the range.
So tell me about how many times has this range been converted to a golf course, and how has it worked out?
Right now, we have been trying to get some help from companies, but actually we have gotten 4 events already with kids. Every event has grown into more and more kids. This past Saturday we had an event where there were almost 50 kids here playing the golf course. We closed the range for 2 hours and they went out to play 9 holes, and we gave prizes to the kids in different categories, and they had just a blast because all their parents were actually watching them play every hole from the range. So it was really exciting for the parents and for the kids because they were always on the spotlight.
So tell me more about your work with the children. What do you hope to accomplish with this facility?
Well, actually, I've been really inspired by the First Tee program in the United States. I've been a fan from the beginning, since it started, because there's so many potential in every country in the world to make golfers, and not just because of the sport, but of what the sport represents in life. I've had the pleasure of learning the values, the core values of golf, and they have helped me a lot in my professional life, in my family, because they represent courage, honesty, sportsmanship, respect, and a bunch of other qualities that make a person a better person. So one of the main things that the lower class to middle class kids could learn here, besides their values at home, is to be a better person and to learn the good part of this game. Like the saying says, the golf is a game and it's meant to be played. So that's what the vision that we have with kids, because we know that the results of any kid playing golf, no matter where they end up in life, they're going to be positive.
I see that beautiful blue Guatemalan flag flying there. What does that represent to you in your life?
Well, it's just an honor to actually hit balls every time and watch the Guatemalan flag in front of us. Actually, it's part of the luck that we have had in this project. I mean, that flag it's done in a government plaza like 5 miles away from here, but we have the pleasure of having it right in the center of our fences, and it's actually a 50 feet by 100 feet flag. It's just huge. So it's really nice to actually see the flag and developing a golf program that it represents the country. So it's actually a pleasure of watching the flag every time that we have to hit the balls.
Tell me about your World Cup experience where you represented your country.
Well, it was fun. I mean, actually I represented the World Cup, the World Golf Championship in South Africa a while back. It was an amazing experience. Actually, I thought that I was going to do better because we were well prepared from our point of view, and actually to play with those amazing players that come from all over the world, you actually see the need of the training programs and the education that we need here in Guatemala to generate the good golfers. It was actually an honor to represent my country and an honor to play with guys that I already see in TV now. So it was a pretty amazing experience. I would just wish everybody can have more and more of those experiences, because they really get your attention on what your country really means to you and how proud you feel of your flag whenever you go out and play for your country.
Golf is coming back to the Olympics after being absent for 112 years. Your reaction to that?
We're just so happy to have the golf coming back to the Olympics, because actually we can have our kids and our professional players have the opportunity to actually play the PGA Tour players that we have always dreamed of. I mean, I think every golfer's dream is to play against one of those players that you see on TV. And with the Olympic Games here and golf, we're going to have the opportunity to send golfers from our country to represent them and to play against them. And I think it's going to bring up the level of competitiveness in the golfers and the aspiration of wanting to train and play more the sport. And in a good way, I think the massive part of the country will have more awareness of the sport, because they will know that it's Olympic and that you will have the support of different government entities and associations, so you can actually have doors open to play the sport.
Now, you've met this fellow Andy Rice he's driving to Rio on this journey to Olympic golf. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm just amazed about the concept. I congratulated Andy when he told me about the story. I mean, it's just amazing to actually visualize somebody driving from St. Louis to Rio, from where golf was first played as an Olympic game, and now 112 years later, we're gonna see it happen in Rio again, and to imagine the trip that Andy had and seeing how the sport grew from where it first was played to now here passing in Guatemala. You could see in 1904 there wasn't even a golf ball in the country, or a golf course. And now we have 6 golf courses in the country. We have a first driving range that is open to the public for the first time in the history of the country. And it's just amazing to see the great idea of actually living the experience of actually seeing how golf represents in every country, from the developed countries like the US to the third world countries like Guatemala and a lot of them in Latin America. It's just amazing how you can relate and see how everything's going to come up together in Rio, getting the top countries in the world competing against the worst golf performance countries in the world. So it's the same as the World Cup in soccer. You know, you see the Brazilian teams, the US teams, and the teams that have dominated the sport for so many years compete against the new surprises, you know, the new countries that, like in the World Cup, where Cameroon was a big hit because they suddenly surprised everybody in beating countries that really play well. So I think it's going to be a great story. I'll be following for sure from Guatemala, and I hope everybody can read it and see the value of the history of the sport.
Has there been any hole-in-ones out here yet?
Yes, we have had 3 hole-in-ones, and all of them made by kids, actually. So we have had a lot of screaming, and because those kids are usually first timers in making hole-in-ones, and 3 of those kids, one of them was played by the number 1 ranked player in Guatemala called Daniel Gurner, which is a student here at the academy, and he was thrilled about making his first hole-in-one.
Well, Nico, I just want to say you have a beautiful country here, and I've only been here a short time, but Guatemala City is a world-class city, and this facility that's behind you, I've never seen anything like it in golf. And to have a concept of a golf course within a practice facility and have that flexibility, and to bring more kids and the people of Guatemala into the game is just an amazing thing to do. And I want to thank you for showing it to me, and thank you for the time and the interview this afternoon.
It's a pleasure, Andy. We, like I told you before, we had a lot of luck in terms of how this facility was made, and one of them was Perry Dye getting involved in the making of the range, which I think elevated the architecture and the landscape view that you could see here. Is just amazing, you know. And we just hope to bring all the kids in Guatemala that have never get in touch with the sport. We hope to bring a facility where they can learn the sport and fall in love the way that I did when I was a kid.
When I look out there, I see a little the cross bunkering of the old course at St. Andrews. I see a bunkerless kind of a Redan sort of hole. I mean, there's golf around the world has been brought right here to Guatemala City. It's a beautiful facility. Good luck with it.
Well, thank you very much.